Hi everyone, thanks for joining. My name's Andrew. I'm going to cover today the HSM on Demand Linux client and how to set that up, and what you need to do if you want to get that up and running nice and quickly. And that's part of the SafeNet data protection on demand or service, otherwise known as DPoD, which I'll refer to for the rest of the presentation. So a couple of quick steps. It's not going to take a whole lot of time. Let's just get into it, right? So we'll create. I'm not going to create the HSM on Demand service and client. I'm just going to show you where to do that. But I'm just going to basically take the HSM on Demand client, set it up, and show you it in action. Pretty straightforward. So let's start with DPoD, right? So when I've logged into DPoD, I can see I basically have a bunch of services that I've set up already. The one I'm going to be using today is the HSM on Demand service, and in that HSM on Demand service, I can see that I had, it's my serial number, so we'll keep a note of that for a bit later when we actually connect through the partition, and I can see there's a service client that I've set up as well. If you want to set up a new service, that's really all you have to do. You give the service a name, and then you create a service client, and you give the service client a name. Like, there's only two things you have to remember, and if you're stupid like me, you just give them both the same name, right? It's pretty straightforward. Anyway, when it comes to actually download the client, so you can see here I've got that, there's a little bit of information here about the client that I've gone and set up. Under Actions, click download link, the down arrow, and you get a download link, and that will give you the HSM on Demand client. So it's really straightforward. Setting up the HSM, provisioning the HSM resources, creating a client that is pre-configured to talk to that HSM is a matter of minutes, like a minute, two if you take your time. Like, it's really straightforward. So shouldn't really need, I don't think it needs much more explanation than that, right? So, but once you have that client, I'm going to show you what to do with it, okay? So moving on, let's go ahead and install it. So let me start off with, here's my demonstrated system that I've got here today. I have a terminal window. This is CentOS 7. Pretty straightforward build. Just basically did the old booted it up in VMware. And, once it was installed, I think I did yum update a couple of times, probably one actually, and that was it. So here's a client that I've had from before. I don't know what that is, so the easiest way is to copy in a new one. Okay, come on, you can do it. Okay, copy in the new HSM on Demand client. So that's the one that I've set up for this, for this service that you saw within DPoD. Let me just extract that out. Actually, you know what? Yeah, this always happens the first time you copy something across. Let's just do it again. Yes, please. We're going to replace it, and it'll magically work the second time. All right. I'm going to do something really exciting. I'm just going to put it from the command line. Sorry, I'll do it that way. Okay, so if I go into DPoD, what I'm going to do is I'm going to unzip it and set up. All right, so I've got my files here, and you may notice some similarity from what we saw on the Windows install. If you haven't seen the Windows install, I would recommend go and have a look at that video, because there's some things that I explain in that video on how to go and create a service, and how to basically how to set up a partition, initialize it, and the different user roles and what they mean. I'm not going to cover them in this video, so if you haven't had a chance, go back and have a look at the Windows one. It'll give you a really good explanation of all those. But in the Windows one, we had these two files, right? cvclient min and cvclient tar. Sorry, cvclient.min.zip and cvclient.min.tar. This time we are going to be doing the cvclient.min.tar. I'm going to extract that. Done. Now, it's not much really more we need to do. What I'm going to do is I like to put my DPoD client in opt, and as you can see, there's one here from before. Let's just get rid of that. All right, I've installed it. Andrew downloads. And let's just recurse into the directories for good luck. So if I go into DPoD, hey, look at that, it's all there. Now, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this setenv. So you've got to run, you've got to execute this, right? Because as you can see here, it's setting up a whole bunch of environment variables or a environment variable. So make sure that you run this. The one that really makes a whole lot of sense is the LD library path, where it links to the dynamic libraries. So if you don't run this, the apps won't run. Okay, so from that DPoD directory now, I can go bin 64 Luna CM, and it'll run just fine. If I don't source the setenv file, then you're going to have all sorts of mischief. Okay, so make sure that's the most important bit. If you don't do that, your environment won't be set up properly, and you won't be able to talk to stuff. Now this is connecting, over the internet, over probably a quite slow connection, Wi-Fi connection. So just bear with it, but it will hit the DPoD services and actually list them out and show me that I'm connecting. And if all goes well, we're just thinking about it, isn't it? If all goes well, here we go. We've got some data. It should be the same serial number, right? So 1321-970-240-628. Well, yeah, okay, that looks pretty good. So there you go. I'm talking to the partition that I wanted to, that I needed to, and really that's it. The rest I'm going to be doing is actually showing you how, giving you a bit more, of a view on how to test it. It's seriously that simple. Okay. Now, one thing I also want to show to you. And let's do this in another window, so just bear with me for 1 second. Let's have a look at the way this works, right? Setenv. Now, you can see here, there's references to dot in the path, right? So if you were going to run this and make this available, I would be running it from this directory, right? So if I had to go to etc, and I wanted to make this, available to everyone, I'd probably be putting something in here. So basically then whenever everybody, because this is the profile file, so that when everyone logs in, this gets run automatically and sets things up. That would actually help, I believe. So we give that, or something along those lines, right? But you need to be in that directory to run it, because some of the path names are relative, they're not absolute, right? So they're relative to the directory that the DPoD client is installed in. So just be aware of that. I've gone and run this from the DPoD directory. Of course, everything's going to be nice and successful. If you're going to automate this or add this, to your system so that everything can do that and utilize that, then you'd obviously be doing it, from the DPoD directory. All right, so we're pretty much good to go. Let me, roll login, name, crypto officer. And it's going to want my password. If you've watched the videos, you will know what that is. It's highly, highly, highly secure. Okay. And then I'm going to have a look at the contents of the partition. And there you go. There's my keys from before. So if you've watched a few other videos, you'll realize, for example, that I've set up a Windows CA using elliptic curve keys. There they are there. And I created an AES key and renamed it to something highly memorable. So you can see all those keys there, and they're available. So any app that you need to connect through to DPoD from this point onwards will work just nicely. And the way that you do that is, if I was into the libs, I keep forgetting that one, libs64 directory, there you go, libcryptokey2.so. that's my PKCS11 DLL. So if I point to that, and I've already set up the environment variables, DPoD works just fine. Okay, so there you go. Setting up the DPoD client, connecting through to the DPoD service in Linux. Piece of cake. Good luck. Happy encryption. Bye for now.